Hey guys, this is Jody, your commissioner with the Whiskey Rebellion Barcast. And hey, this is going to be our under $30 show. And I look that way because that's where I have my bottle sitting. I thought this was a great idea that was brought on to us by our youngest and most newest bartitioner, and that would be John. He was like, hey, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? And I was like, honestly, I don't have time to talk to you guys. But that was in the VIP chat. Which if you're not a part of, you need to be a part of. It's a great time. We have one of our new guys, Chuck, is on the VIP chat. There's several people that they're just there for stalking purposes, and it's great because we have great conversations and stuff of that nature. So now that the Iceman, Jack Frost, has stopped talking, I can ask him to unmute. Guys, welcome to the show. Cheers to everybody. What's everybody drinking? We'll start with John.
So tonight for this show, busted out one of my favorites is the Old Granddad Bottled and Bond. And it's just a solid pick. I think a lot of people bypass it. Somebody turned me onto it. It's about the $24 price range. But you know, I really don't think anybody will be disappointed if they pick that one up. So, but that's what I got. That's what I got tonight.
Very cool. Rob.
Hey guys, how we doing tonight? Cheers.
What's up, Rob?
Cheers.
I am drinking on some Weller Special Reserve in Ohio. Picking that up at $22.99. I think in PA they're doing it for $24.
So angry.
$25.99. I also have some Evan Williams Bottled and Bond in here to back that up because I'll probably finish that bottle off while we're talking tonight. So I'll go to a little Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, and that is for bang for its buck. It's pretty impressive.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I'll go ahead and say what I'm drinking as well, since Rob had pointed out I never get to say what I'm drinking, though I disagree, but it doesn't really matter. I'm also having Evan Williams Bottled and Bond 100 proof. I will tell you for the price point, which I think it's around here in Tennessee, it's around between $22 and $24, I think, price point. That is a solid. It's Bottled and Bond. It's 4 years. It is a minimum 4 years. I think there's speculation it's actually more than that, but we'll just go with the Bottled and Bond. It's really, really good. It has some great notes to it. What I like best about it is what I've noticed with a lot of younger. I shouldn't say younger. That's not the right term. Some of the bourbons that come in on the lower end of the price point have an aftertaste that you can often taste after. Definitely, like, it stays with you, almost like a beer would stay with you, and that's something I don't typically like. And let me put it different. I do not like. And what I like about the Evan Williams is I don't get that lasting aftertaste that 4 hours later you want to go brush your tongue with the toothbrush, your electric toothbrush, like that. And that's what I did. Save that for a photo.
Do that one more time.
No, I was being funny the second time. But anyway, so after I've completely embarrassed myself, so if we can, let's go with our resident jackass. Hey, David, what are you drinking?
Hey, how's it going, guys? I know my name. Well, I'm cheating a little bit right now because in my glass I have Lafroig 10-year, and that's going to wreck my palate for what I'm about to switch to. Lafroig, I think this one, the 10-year, I got it for like 47, 49, something like that. I know the rule of the game or whatever for tonight was under $30. What I do have that's under $30 is the Sexton Irish whiskey. I've already opened this one up and tried it before, so I can already tell you about it a little bit. This is a nice little whiskey. For the price point, I get a little bit nervous when it's under 30 for an Irish whiskey, because you can get a lot of decent bourbons that are lower end, quote unquote, like the Weller or like that Evan Williams. But when you go that low on whiskey, it's going to usually taste like it came out of a garbage pail. Like, it's bad. But Sexton is actually pretty nice, because I think I got it for like 28, 29, something like that. So it's just under that. And I'll get into the flavor profile if I get a chance to taste it again. But Billy, I know you've had it before. It's really quite nice at the price point. And the thing I want to point out is that a bottle like this, because it's, you know, it's not a regular bottle shape. And you're like, and it's got this cool little skeleton and a top hat. And you're like, okay, maybe it's a little gimmicky, maybe it's a little crap. Like, it's really not bad for a lower end Irish whiskey. Yeah, this is really a good pick. So I would recommend this to others to try. So yeah. So that's what I will be drinking on once I'm done wrecking my palate with Lefroy, because it's very peaty and smoky, and I won't taste anything after I drink this. So anyway, who we want to go to next? Billy?
Well, I grabbed the closest thing next to me because I just finished working. Long Branch. It was literally sitting here on my table.
Love Long Branch.
You know, a lot of people have some mixed reviews about it, but I actually kind of like it.
Oh, I like
not
it
because of the
I think
name
it's
on the
solid.
bottle.
It's a solid.
Yeah, I think it's a great pour. And I don't think it was over 30, but I know it was under 40.
I was gonna say
a good pour.
I think it's for sure over 30, but I don't think it's over 40 here in Tennessee.
You
Yeah,
can usually get it for
Yeah.
35. I've paid
Yeah,
44.
it was-
But most places you
if
can
I
find.
remember correctly, it was
33
right
to
around there.
34 here.
Yeah. But yeah, David, that sextant that you have there, listen, and if you ever have to knock somebody out, you can definitely use that bottle to do it.
Definitely, it's gonna.
Or you can just put it on your shelf so you don't have to worry about your
was
crafty
waiting for you to say.
craftsmanship, and don't have to worry about it falling through.
Yeah. Listen, my sauce making is better than my craftsman making, so it's okay.
That's
go.
It works out.
if you guys ever want to know if we tell the truth and there's some validity to it, we're not fake news. There was the truth.
That is definitely the truth. Yeah, the bottles. It's cool that it's not a regular bottle shape. That it's
Right.
you know, a hexagon or whatever. I don't know if that goes with like the some kind of nautical theme or something like that. Like the bottles won't roll kind of thing. On the
Yeah,
shelf.
that was kind of
Something
the
like that.
story
I don't really know what the plan is behind that, but yeah, it definitely stands out and it looks cool on a shelf. And it doesn't taste terrible either, which doesn't hurt. So
Very nice. That leaves Jack Frost.
Yeah, I think
In
Billy's
which you
using
changed your
those-
name again.
Always back to my original name. I think Billy's using 2 of those bottles to hold up the shelves now.
Just on the bottom.
Yeah, that's all. I'm breaking the bank too here. I'm doing the Maker's Mark Cask Strength 2000 or 20-03, 109.8 proof. This one did come in about $47 and change. I'm not to sound all snobby and
Or clear eyes
hoity-toity,
like.
which I do have in my Maker's Mark glass.
why?
Do you see the ice?
You know, we're all careful not to talk about ice now on the show.
I think our intro
don't
ought
get
to
him
be,
started.
just because we picked, something cool for our intro with the Dropkick Murphys, I think we ought to move to Ice Ice Baby. I'm sure we can probably buy that sample relatively cheap.
Yeah, bought up the Queen.
Yeah, we'd have to buy it off Queen or we'll get sued.
Yeah, definitely.
They'll take our combined income of $2 from us.
It'd be judgment proof.
No doubt.
There you go.
But yeah, it's a heavy one. It's a heavy bite. It's light in the tongue, but it's got that really strong spicy aftertaste. So I had to throw an ice cube in on that one to kind of throw it down a little bit. I was going to try to do it. I did it meat Sunday, and it was one of those ones that really kind of lingered in the back of your tongue for a little bit. So with the ice cube in it, the clear ice cube in it, it definitely helps water that down, smooth that out off the back of your
It's
tongue.
so clear you can't even see it.
I know. I should get the backlight on, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
there.
There you go. That's why you need some underlights on that or something like.
Lord.
Oh, I have that. I can here. Watch. I'll do that real quick.
See, you know how easy this is to do to get him going.
Like a child. He's like a child playing with ice.
There you go.
Oh wait, I got to turn it around so you can see the. There we go. The
There
Maker's
you
Mark.
go. There you go. You can see the little bit of the
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I'm still drinking from the
very. That's
There
right.
you go.
Moosehead.
Hitter's full.
Shitter's full. Yep. Hey, real quick I know I don't want to make anything political, and therefore I'm not. However, I will say this to come to the defense of one individual. Dr. Jill Biden is a doctor, and I don't know why that's ever been up for a debate. That seems ridiculous to me. Anybody that goes to school and earns the credentialing as a doctor, guess what? They are a doctor. End of story, end of discussion. If you don't like it, earn the credentialing, move on. I think we all know she's not an MD type, which is not a terminal degree. So with that, moving on, and I said that was my PSA for the day.
There you go.
Because I'm tired of the jackassery on both sides of the aisle when it comes to that. Let's go back to bourbon.
Yeah.
So,
we're all like, okay, cool. Agree with that. Moving on.
well, I figured there would be consensus in this group. That's the only reason why I said it. Because
I don't care enough.
I just think it's a stupid argument, to be honest with you. I mean, there's plenty of things we can argue about, but that's not one of them.
Yeah, agree.
I look at that as like, really, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. And I like that. That's pretty. I'm gonna see if my in-laws will send it to me. Send it to me. Mail it to me.
Gold,
It just
Billy?
looks so. It just looks so warm and
That is the goal.
I do have gold, but I don't have a full bottle, so
Very nice.
it's sad.
All right. Well, end the show, I guess. Thanks everybody for joining us. You want to be part of the Whiskey Rebellion VIP?
Mute him. Hurry up and mute him.
Hey, are you guys doing anything festive for? I mean, like, first of all,
That's a great question, by the way.
I have no problems doing the show Monday and Wednesday if you guys want to next week, because I'm not going anywhere. So I'll say that. Well, Monday meaning Sunday and Wednesday, if you guys want. So I'll start with that, and then the other aspect is now the following week, though, I don't want to do it at all. I'm taking the whole week off. The week after Christmas. So,
Sure.
but anyway, outside of that, do you guys do anything fun, festive for the holidays? I mean, I know David decorates the house for, Satan's Day. That's his man, but
It's Krampus. I'm totally into it. Like someone who snatches up the bad kids and puts them in a bag to carry off. I don't know the whole myth, but whatever. But yeah, no, Krampus is awesome. But no, I like Christmas lights. I like presents, so I put up lights and a tree and everything else. And also, we have a child, so like it's for the kids too. So like,
me and the wife, we put up a tree. We put out a wreath outside. Christmas Eve, I will be at Camilla's house, lending my services to the shelter. My daughter will be here on Monday to hang out with me for a week. So that should be fun. And other than that, it's just going to be kind of back to business.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, I have my best friend and her parents, my wife and I, since my daughter moved out, and with my wife, or with my daughter's other side of her family, for the last 15 years or so, on Christmas Eve, I go and cook the Feast of the Seven Fishes for her family. So her
can
family.
Can I interrupt and ask you what the Feast of the Seven Fishes is?
The Feast of the Seven Fishes it's an Italian tradition.
Mm-hmm.
So on Christmas Eve, there are 7 fish dishes prepared. We do calamari, we do shrimp, I do fried cod. They do mussels and marinara. They do clams. We do fried smelts. That covers our 7 fishes.
Outside of the
Awesome,
snails,
actually.
man, I was like, this sounds awesome.
No, I would do snails for real.
I would not.
escargot is beautiful.
I don't like the way they
Yellow.
move really slow down my tongue.
Usually, it's better if you cook them first. I know you have a history with eating like bugs and shit in the wild because you had to when you were in the military. But like, yeah, when you cook it, maybe it's a little different kind of.
Yeah, I'm
But yeah, I've
overeating
never heard
bugs
of
in the wild.
I bet you are. But yeah, no, Rob, I had never heard of that before, so I was pretty.
Yeah, it's an old Italian tradition. It's definitely from the old country. And then Christmas Day, we actually turned it into. It's just more like a fun thing. And
I think I'm doing brisket Christmas Day.
Nice.
Gonna make some Christmas brisket. That's what I think I'm gonna do. I did that. Remember, were you over here when I did the brisket in the slow cooker the last time? I know
don't know
James
if it was the
was.
last time or not, but yeah, there was a time that James and I were over and you did brisket in the slow cooker and it was friggin' phenomenal.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it the same way.
Phenomenal. Yeah, no, that was a good time. That was excellent.
I picked up
That was a good night.
we picked up 3 briskets down at the K Rogers for I bet they're every bit of 20 pounds or close to it.
K
And
Rogers.
they were $27 per. And they were listed that they were on sale from $69 and $70 something. And I was like, oh my God, we're going to get those. Let's buy up the whole place. And they're like, sir, you can only have one each time. So I can only go in and out the store so many times before they catch on.
Have you gone to, what is it, that Tall Grass Meat Company yet in Columbia?
All the
Sorry, we're talking
time.
about local
All
stuff.
the time.
Like, yeah, they got great cuts in there.
They have a lot of you can donate part of your deer to them as well, because they sell venison and stuff there as well. And they also have frog legs. Anything that's first of all their beef products come from Tennessee fed, Tennessee grown cattle. But they also have a lot of like all the wild game we have here too, like from wild boar to the frog legs to rabbit to squirrel, all of that.
Man,
they have all of that.
We need to talk to their owner and let them know we're doing free advertising for them.
Yeah.
By the way. We brought them up a couple of times at this point.
It's one of my favorite places.
No, I was in there twice. I was very impressed. Yeah.
Yeah, it's super clean too. So it's a butcher.
Definitely.
That's when you go into it, it's almost like being in like the frozen food section of your local grocery, but everything is just so sterile and clean, and it's and you can get any cut you want, and then you can see them in the back, cutting off whatever they're doing.
When you go in there, it does seem like you get more of a vibe of like an old school butcher shop.
Yes, that's exactly what it feels like,
and it's fun.
We should definitely contact them too, because we are definitely talking good about them.
And
what was
Amy
and bacon? I don't care.
One more time,
when you go inside and you don't smell meat, everything's on the up and up.
Yeah,
that's true. You don't smell anything in there.
Yeah, if you go into a place and you smell metallic beef or like, I don't know, dry blood, run. Seriously, run.
Yeah, you would like to shop for real.
Yeah, you would, because you can get lamb there, and you can get all types of different cuts of everything. It's I just bought some more bison today, actually, just a few minutes ago. I'm supposed to pick up potentially tomorrow morning. We'll see, but from my friend that owns the bison ranch, so it's fresh. Getting some bison for my mother for Christmas. She doesn't watch the show, so she doesn't know. So she initially watched it, but then she was like, you guys talk too long. I'm like, you ought to see the after show.
Yeah, for real.
This must have been before I was part of the show.
Dude, the after show, well, you're the reason why we don't do that anymore. So we'll start there. But the after show, I mean, like we used to have some great stories with Hal telling some funny things that happened to him really in college.
Why did he wait to the after show? Those are the best stories.
Oh, they were so good. And then I had told a couple of military stories too, that from back in the day. And it was a good time. The after show, the reason why the after show is no longer a thing pretty much is one, we have the VIP chat. And if you're not part of the VIP chat, you need to be. That's one. The other thing is that we record all the shows now. That because Mark Zuckerberg and his Nazis or Gestapo, they seem to have some kind of cue on, I don't know, David has a flag behind him, and they're like, that's propaganda. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really my fault. That's the mother of all.
It's absolutely your fault.
Bringing us down.
Yeah. But anyway, no, it's something to do with the Facebook bandwidth at 7:00. It can be sketchy at times, and I was like, and after reading about a bunch of different platforms that are available, they all said the same thing. Depending on the live streams bandwidth, it can be sketchy no matter how much you pay for it. And I'm like, unless you essentially,
it might be depending on your package. They might actually like be throttling you back.
Yeah, that could be very much what it is.
Because of the time of day.
Right.
I think the one I have doesn't technically do that but I could have just as easily signed a contract that was doing it.
Yeah.
Because they make these decisions and they put it in the fine print, and you don't realize.
Yeah,
until you
because
get
it's covered
out.
up under like 70 pages of stuff, and you're like,
Mhm.
who has time to read that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be Spectrum I'm talking about, by the way, and I don't like them.
Yeah.
They're kind of like my mailman.
I'm not a fan of really.
Oh,
any-
get this. So you know today was raining here in Tennessee, right?
Sure.
All right. So if you're a mailman, you're driving by and you're putting the mail in, it's two envelopes. You open the little lid, you put the mail in. What do you normally do?
Close the lid.
Yeah, you would think definitely if it's raining, right?
Yeah.
Not this Yahoo. He's like, I hate this guy. So he just leaves the lid open. I'm like, dude, you're such
These
an
little
ass.
passive aggressive games people play.
He is a passive aggressive
It's
guy.
adorable.
So if he's watching the show, I hope you enjoy the show, and please be part of the VIP. Anyway,
because you guys need to talk.
Yeah.
Need to have a little.
John, what about you? John, what about you? What are you doing for the holidays? Anything festive?
My wife's having a baby, so
pretty
that's
festive.
it's a COVID baby, right?
yeah, it's a COVID baby. No, so we're
If it's
to
a
be
girl,
honest-
don't name it Rona. Don't do that. There's gonna be a bunch of them with that name.
we
Rhoda.
we're expecting her to go into labor at any moment, so I'm kind of waiting for her to start yelling my name for us to hop in the car and head that way. But
Well, congratulations preemptively if we don't.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
congratulations.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And just listen, it might not be John, it might be goddamn it. Listen here, you son of it might be one of those. So if you hear anything in that range, know she's talking to you.
I was like, why are we going to straight up cussing? But I get it now.
Just tell her
No,
the
she-
Uber's outside waiting for her.
Yeah, going into
Yeah,
labor.
just
that's- all bets
just
are
tell her
off
you
kind of
called
thing.
her in the Uber, but you're still on the show, so you can't go right yet.
Use your cell phone and just go with you.
We've got 36 minutes, babe. I'll be right there.
Yeah, Jack is telling us about clear ice for the 14,000th time.
And the best way to make
He's
it
like,
is
I'm
just
about
using
to.
filtered tap water.
Oh my God.
Well,
Muted him.
so Jody might mute me after this, but to be honest, I haven't even heard the clear ice stuff. So
Oh my
I'm-
God. You guys can have a
No,
personal
no,
conversation on the
no.
side.
Yeah, like the first time we had Jack on, it's become a running gag on the show now. First time we had Jack on, he got pretty tipsy with us that night, and
The first time.
it was in the after show. Probably not the only time, but like the first time we had him on, it's like we're just checking out Jack Frost, trying to see how he is.
Yeah, we'll make sure he's not like some kind of Russian spy or something like that.
Right.
You know?
One of these things. We were worried, So, but during the show, he's like a little bit, oh, I like this clear ice, this and that. Check out the glass, turn it and stuff like that. I was like, okay, that's actually pretty cool. And then it's like in the after show, we had been going for a little while. Most of us are fairly tipsy at this point. And it's like, yeah, time to wrap up. And he's like, okay, I'm just going to explain this one thing. And then like for the next 20 minutes, he goes into a dissertation about how one prepares clear ice.
The best part of that though is what he didn't even know was occurring.
He didn't understand. The rest of us were losing it.
We were all chatting on the VIP chat because he wasn't a member. He wasn't a part of it yet, and it was hilarious because I was like, oh my God, we are having a dissertation. Like someone's defending their dissertation right now on clear ice.
About how to make clear ice. And we're like, I was like, does he not he's not reading the social cues or not? Like he's just all in it right now, man. Like he's all, so it's become a running gag on the show. And like, he knows at this point, and so that's why we bring it up. He doubles down on it. Like, no, he's not embarrassed. He's like, oh no, let me tell you guys, like here he is laughing it up right now. Cause he's getting ready to do it again.
Yeah.
Well, it's also the reason why he's stuck. He's with our show.
That's why he's Jack. And that's why he's Jack Frost now. So
and that's the reason why one of the videos when I used to do the promos, which I'll start those back up now that I have time. When I was doing the promos all the time, that's why there's a couple of side by sides of him and Jack Frost from the movie Santa Claus. It's because there's this one picture he had in the promo where I swear the way his hair was all up and everything. I mean, and I can't make fun of hair. First, I want to make that uniquely
there's
present.
not too many people on this.
Yeah,
in this,
I mean, I would
call
love to
that
have
can-
Jack Frost here. I'll be honest with you,
Yeah.
both you guys. But anyway, so it just the way the picture was, and then the picture, the side by side, I was like, oh my God, it's the same guy. So now he's just making clear ice.
So that's the backstory on Jack Frost. That's
I'm actually
why he's
all I have is I'm up to my backup. I don't have anything left in my cooler except my bag of ice. I use that shit I use that stuff all the time.
I think we're okay. Freaking Billy just went straight up FCA or FCS or FFC. What's it called? FCC.
FCC.
Yeah, FCC. He already went. He made all those violations right away when he said GD whatever that she may be calling you. And I'm looking for a street fight over here, and he's actually talking about John's wife. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm following you.
I mean, well, listen, if John messes up, it will be a street fight, which he will probably lose. At least they'll be on the way to the hospital.
Yeah. No, they can lay in the bed next to each other.
The wife will be like, no, listen, go ahead, take care of him first. He'll be in worse shape.
He's more of a crybaby.
Yeah.
That's right.
Speaking of which, Jack Frost, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You ever heard of this stuff, 291 Colorado?
Yes, they're in Colorado Springs. They are their own distillery, as far as I'm aware. They're not one of those new young companies that have MGP in their barrels.
I wish we'd stop knocking MGP because honestly, I like MGP
I'm not really knocking MGP. They obviously make some really good spirit because every freaking buddy is using it in their barrels. I mean, it's I think Bullet Rye.
It's a good looking bottle.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and I actually have one of their bottles. I can go grab it real quick. They have one.
Quick question for you. Can you get this one?
Which one's that? Small batch?
I don't know. My brother's actually asking for it. So
yeah, hey, I can get it.
Can you make your screen bigger?
Yeah, you turn sideways. There you go. There you go.
Oh yeah, there you go, big pop.
Billy, bro, man, you gotta get a webcam rocking. Like you gotta upgrade a little bit.
I like how the star is like twinkling above his head.
No, I think that's cool. No, I like
Cafe
that.
305, yeah, in the house. You know what I'd be saying.
No, I use my wife's iPad. If I get a webcam, I'm gonna start charging y'all because listen, hey.
Hey,
what is it? What is it called? OnlyFans?
Dude, you could probably start an OnlyFans where you're just
Wait a minute,
cooking.
what's that? Wait a minute, is that?
I might subscribe to that.
Wait a minute, I'm lost. I don't know.
OnlyFans, it's like, I guess it's like it's porn, right? But it's like an individual who becomes like an internet.
You're going to do porn, Billy?
I said he's going to cook, and I said I might subscribe to that and pay him.
So but I mean, if it's going to be porn, are you going to be like naked?
He doesn't need to be. He just needs to cook.
Doesn't have to be.
Everybody else might want to know this watching the show. So,
right, but he's explaining.
I'm trying to find out.
He's got one.
Would Jody only if you're interested? Then yes, I'll be naked.
I'm not saying that.
It's like Instagram.
I'm interested, but I'm not saying I'm not
interested.
Is that?
I don't know why you don't already know this.
I just got a new Jeep on there, and I'm putting.
Yes, I know you got a new Jeep, and you got the exact Jeep I want. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Listen,
and you posted it online. I was like, "What an ass!"
It's getting wheels in the lift on Saturday, so I might start me an OnlyFans to pay for.
Might have to, man.
Yeah,
do what you gotta do, Billy.
And cook some brisket.
Absolutely.
I mean, whatever.
I'm thinking about. Well, I'm not thinking about. I am going to get one, but it's going to be sometime after the. Not after the first year, probably closer to we got some other stuff I want to get done to the house before I invest in a new vehicle. Definitely since my vehicle and her vehicle is running like advertised right now. There's no reason to buy one right this second, but I will get one. And that is exactly what I'm looking for, but I want it either in black or metallic kind of grayish silver,
Yeah. I get that 302.
Let me tell you, that thing is gonna be like 80 grand. I didn't go that far. It was funny because me and the wife was at the dealership, and I actually just went in there to drop off some barbecue sauce. And the guy who bought the sauce, he's like, "Oh, is that your Jeep?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You want to trade it?" I'm like, "Ha ha ha, you're funny." And he was like, "No, serious." And my wife was like, "See what he gives you for it." So he said a number that was much higher than I expected. So an hour and a half later,
right?
I left with a brand new Jeep.
See, that's the part I don't like. Why does it take so long? Like, are we just sitting there hanging out? I mean, what's going on? I don't want to sit there and hang out.
Here's what's funny. If anybody's bought a car in the last 10 years, they ask you for your information, like proof of residence and the whole nine. All that is gone. Everything is electronic. Like all my paperwork is on a zip drive, and like that's it. Everything.
And it's with
And
China.
you know how it used to go to. You know how you go. You get a new car, they give you the paper tag unless you're transferring your tag.
Right.
So they're like, no, we don't do that anymore. I got a whole new tag and everything. Like, bam, in and out.
Yep.
In
It
and out
actually
is not
took
an
them
hour and a half.
longer. But here's the thing: it would have been we would have been done sooner. But the fact that they washed it and detailed it and all that, that's what took time because it wasn't the first in line.
So I would have said, hey, look,
that was
guys,
the part
this
of the
is how this deal works. I'm going to buy the vehicle. We're going to get approved and all. And I like you guys' number and all. I need you to drive me down to the local tavern, and y'all come back and pick me up when you're ready and just take me home at that point because I'll probably have a few drinks.
Hey, if a guy was trying to close a deal, he would do it too, right? If you're a motivated salesman, you would make that happen.
Oh,
Yes,
Actually,
would.
My opinion.
I was selling during 08, 09,
I believe
and
this.
I ended up doing that actually. Me and the person
You were selling
buying
what, cars?
Yeah, so yes. I wasn't on OnlyFans. They didn't have it at the time.
That's why he wasn't on it, because I didn't have it at the time.
They didn't have it.
That's why
Yeah,
he wouldn't do it.
I mean,
So how do you, I'm just more curious of how do you start an OnlyFans? But anyway, get back to your story.
No, there were some times. Yeah, we actually, me and the person that was buying the vehicle, we ended up going to the bar and sitting there for a little bit, waiting for finance to call me and said that it was ready to go. So.
Hey. Get
Yeah.
that commission.
I mean, it was funny because the financing part took like 15, 20 minutes, but just detailing it and gassing it up and the whole nine. And let me tell you, I'm in love all over again.
Oh, you can do that from
To the
Facebook too. OnlyFans.
Jody's like really into this.
Jody's like, I'm gonna start my own OnlyFans. I'm gonna call it Jody Fans.
It just be called See the Doc.
Jody's gonna get himself in trouble with the wife tonight talking
Sorry,
about OnlyFans.
you wonder why Zuckerberg keeps
It's-
shutting you down.
It says plan your OnlyFans content.
Plan it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it says you should make up a plan and how much depth you want to put into it.
I like how we just let that hang for like, How much depth?
And it
Did you
says
see that face
He wants to make the
priceless.
pun.
and what I like is the advertisements have like it's 6 cues and it has 5 girls and a dude lifting weights.
Like, no, I
hate to
just saw an
speculate
article.
what he does.
So guys, just so you know, we've lost Jody for the night. He's gonna go down that.
Yeah.
He's gone down a
The rest of the
he's
night,
gone down a
gonna be
rabbit hole.
distracted the entire time.
He's
Like,
Literally.
don't.
He's
This is
gone down
this is
the
a great
dirty
time.
rabbit
Hey,
hole.
John, exactly, John. This is a great time to talk about the Army Navy game.
Let's talk about that USC game. Actually, real quick on the Army Navy game. First of all, what type of weather was going on there? And have you ever been to an Army Navy game? I went back in 2014, and that was the greatest football game I've ever been to. I've been to like 11, 12, 13 USC games. I'm sorry, USC versus UCLA, just those games. I've been to a bunch of college football games. I've even been to Neyland Stadium like 5 or 6 times, which I think is a great atmosphere. I've been to Gainesville. I've been all over to watch games. But the Army Navy game was by far the best experience I've ever been to. Definitely the camaraderie in the crowd. Like nobody was hating on each other. Like when you go up to the line to like buy a drink, it's kind of like being at Chick-fil-A, like where the person in front of you buys your meal and you're like, okay, well, I'm buying that person's meal, and it just keeps going back. And you're like, what? I ordered like 2 double shots or whatever. And I was walking to my hotel room there in Baltimore or whatever it might have been, but it was super cold, but it was the best time. But what was up with the weather there? And then the other thing is, for 3 quarters, did nobody decide to play football at all? We're just going to be at 3-0. I mean, dude, it was 3-0. I went for a walk in the middle of that. The wife and I, she was like, hey, you want to go for a walk? I'm like, it's pretty nice. She goes, well, I know you're watching your game. I'm like, it's 3-0. I mean, it's not really a game. Just kind of sitting here, just watching. It's like literally watching two snails chase each other from the side, like from one, like if you were to put them on like a
What was
chessboard.
the
And
final score on that game?
15-0.
Mm.
But that all came in the fourth quarter. True or not?
Yeah, yeah. It was a hard game to watch just because even on TV it was
So much fog.
The fog just made it hard to watch, and then the Army's uniforms.
I dispute
were
like 12 of those
freaking
field goals you guys got.
dark. They were
Nobody
super
could
dark
see
green.
that.
It was hard to see them.
Can we have a recount?
Wow.
Or an audit?
Shoot, Navy was on the 1 yard line. They couldn't even get it in the end zone.
That, and I personally think that ball should have been when he fell at the 1, when he was returning it, and he fell and it went through the end zone. Honestly, as a fan of football, that should have been a touchback for the other team, for Army, in my opinion. So it shouldn't even count it. They shouldn't even been on the 1. Should have been a touchback, and Army should have possessed the ball at the 20-yard line with a fresh set of downs. That's my opinion as a sports advocate for good sports, I should say. But whatever, that was not a good game. Now the USC UCLA game, oh my God, I lost at least 5 years of my life watching that. Like, what was that about? And it was like they've done that 4 times this year in literally the last minute and a half of the game. They're like, oh, are we supposed to play football? Oh, we're all here now. Let's do this. And they'll score like one game this year. They scored 13 points in 30-something seconds.
What?
Yeah. And then
Like
on the USC
official game clock, you mean? Like,
yeah, on the official game clock. And then on this game the other day, they came back from 8-point deficit with 2 minutes left, and then won by 5. And you're like, what? Why do you want me to? Are you trying to stroke me out? I definitely don't like Clay Helton, the coach. That's not going to change whether he wins the national championship or not. That ain't going to happen either, because nobody's beating Alabama. I mean, oh my God, that team would beat up on Alabama from 4 years ago. I mean, that's just a team. They're like, hey, you want to score 62? I got you, bro.
like video game scores.
Well, it's like, did anybody watch the Duke Miami game? I'm sure you did, Billy. Like, that was ridiculous. That was what, 62-15? I was like, what in the world was that game? Like, Duke, we're not talking about basketball teams playing, which I would expect that score in basketball.
UNC, or was that Duke?
Duke.
No, Duke and Miami got their heads beat in.
By Duke?
They got absolutely like molested. Like old school molested when people didn't take pictures.
Listen, I think homicide came out at one point. Yeah.
No, it was horrible. I was like, what in the world is that about? Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a massacre for sure.
And so I like Miami because they have the Shark Institute, so I like them. They like I like them.
So Jack Frost, how much does that bottle go for that you had there in your hand?
This one here was about 110.
110. Okay, beautiful.
A pretty ass bottle though.
Yeah, it's got a whole bunch of stickers on it too.
Yeah.
But,
now, what is that again for people who can't really read it that well from here, including
so
myself?
this is it's Distillery 291. It's out of Colorado Springs. This is barrel proof single barrel.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at they call it hand distilled and bottled by Distillery 291, Colorado Springs. This is aspen stave finished. And then it's a rye malt mash. It is this one is 129.9 proof.
So it's kicking a little bit. Yeah.
I definitely will be putting some clear ice in this one if I ever open it.
Yeah. I'll bet you will.
Yeah, and then there's 6 stickers. Yeah, I might ruin it with some cloudy ice. How about that?
Yeah, that would ruin the flavor.
Yeah. World 2018 World Whiskey Awards, Best Rye. 2019, the Spirits Business Master. 2018, double gold at the San Francisco World.
It sounds like a fantastic spirit. It sounds like the palate is primarily a rye whiskey on it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
This one here in my hand is batch 627. And it is bottle 12 of 46.
Real quick, the current online going price for double Eagle Rare, very rare, 20-year-old bourbon. Can you guys guess?
$7,000.
19, $2,000.
I was about to say $1,200, but
Yeah, come on, it's the price
That's probably
is
like
right.
$5,000.
I say 7.
It's $19,999.99.
Oh, I win. I'm the closest.
fuck that.
Wait. Oh shit.
Anyway,
Come
so
on down.
online, the you're on the price of Jody. Anyhow, the 291, the single barrel online at Cask Cartel is for $85.99. We cannot get that in Tennessee, but those of you might be following in other states where
it's not a terrible price for
your legislators are not jackasses, that will work. And now they also have the 291 finished in Aspen Wood, which is 129. I'm sorry, 121.99, also from the Cask Cartel. So for those of you guys out there that might be looking for it, that can purchase it online, have it shipped to your house, and when you're in your pajamas during the COVID-19, when essential workers are liquor store people, but they won't provide us what we want, there you go. It's now available to you.
There you go.
Yep, and Flavier has a barrel proof. They don't say if it's single barrel or not, but it's 101.99. And yeah, they don't even have a picture of it. They just have a stock picture. Dark amber, aroma strongly reminiscent flan and cracker jacks with a youthful alcohol punch. Yeah, I bet 130 proof. The flavor profile builds the caramel corn, but leans towards rye, spice, and maple. The finish is warm and lightly sweet with cinnamon.
They have.
It sounds really nice. Honestly, it does.
I got
a question for you guys.
What's that? Well, real quick, let me tell you about this. But while you drop your phone, they have America bourbon whiskey. That's also available too.
Called America.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's some good stuff right there.
Grunt style. I think it's Grunt Style's whiskey, right?
No, well, I don't know if that could be Lead Slingers, which is also horrible. But anyway, go ahead.
What's the most you guys ever paid for a single bottle of anything? Like, so I got the Blanton's Gold.
I'm not gonna say it all.
Okay.
I paid $100 with Jefferson's Ocean.
I think we talked about this one already because I still
I know. I was just wondering because I got the Blanton's Gold, and it is the most expensive, the most I've ever paid for a bottle.
Mm-hmm. It's such a sexy box too. Like that's
right. And then it's magnetic even. As I probably drop it out of the box.
Yeah, it's got the
nice. That is cool. I like the dragon
inside.
Yeah, and they got them on.
Breckenridge is great. I've not had that obviously, but
I will tell you I have some very my and where I differ from Jack Frost is I like to buy bourbon and drink it. So I do have almost everything I have is opened because I do like to try it. But there's some there's some expensive bourbons in there, and but I think that's, in my opinion, if you want something bad enough, like I will pay definitely over a lot of things for Eagle Rare 17. I will. It's a fact. But am I going to do that for Blanton's? No. So there's give and takes there, So, and I don't think it's ever appropriate. This is my bourbon feeling. I don't think it's appropriate to talk about how much you paid for something. But I do think it's okay to say, hey, look, I will overpay for certain things. Because I think if you're
Yeah,
going
and I
to,
guess
if you want it, it's kind of what it comes down to. If you want it
Right.
and you can afford it without hurting you or your family and all that to have it, and you're still going to make your mortgage payment and your house payment or not house payment, your car payment, and make sure the kids don't starve, and that's what you want to do. Knock yourself out. That goes back to that whole responsible drinking thing. But
Yeah.
I don't
No,
know that we should ever talk about price point that we've paid.
No, the reason I asked is because I got the golds, but I've actually seen regular Blantons more expensive than what I paid for the gold.
I can tell you that here in Tennessee, I have never paid this much for it. But for example, like what I paid you for Rock Hill Farm, all right, and I even gave a bonus on it because I wanted to pay for the shipping and everything, which was still considerably less than what you'll find it in Tennessee. In Tennessee, unless you can find it with a 3-inch layer of dust on it because somebody has it in their shop and they don't know what it is, you're not going to get it at price point, and it's going to be well over $250. All right.
Wow.
It is what it is. I have seen 107 recently, because I'm on a couple of the bourbon sale pages that Jay introduced me to, and I won't punk them out who they are here. But I have seen on those pages people buying 107 for $150 to $200. I've seen 12-year.
Four times retail.
Yeah, I've seen 12-year Weller go for $250. I've seen some go as high as $400. I have 2 bottles of that, and I won't even sell it. I'll be honest with you, and the only way I'm not going to enter that game of, like, if somebody wants something, I would rather do what we do. Hey, if somebody wants something, what can we work out as a trade?
Yeah.
That's my preference. Now there's sometimes that just doesn't work. Like for example, when Rob, he found Foolproof 1792 at a fantastic price. By the way, John, I still owe you a bottle. I forgot about it when I met you the other day. Excuse me. When I met up with you the other day, meant to bring it and I forgot about it until I was about 2 blocks from that place, and I was like, I forgot that. I'm not driving home and getting it. We'll have to do another date. But anyway, something like that, when you buy almost like the case, you just pay for it. And that was a phenomenal price point. There's no way I could have got that for in Tennessee. What was it, $45 a bottle, something like that, $40-something a bottle?
$49.99.
Yeah. So yeah, that here in Tennessee is every bit of 79 would be you would hope for, and probably closer to $89 a bottle.
Yeah.
A store pick would probably be closer to $99 a bottle. So you can see the savings I got in that. You know what I'm saying? Plus I paid for shipping.
Right. And I don't think I overpaid for the gold. It's just, it's like I see stuff out there and it's like, wow, really? I couldn't believe it, because I've seen here in my own neighborhood, I've seen regular Blantons for more expensive than what I paid for gold. I was like, Jesus, what's really going on?
Yeah, there's a store.
If the market will bear it, that's how it works.
There's a store down the road from my house, not the one I go to. It's the one I go to like just for beer. And but I went in there because I was hunting, and they had Sam Houston 14 Colorado batch, and they had Blanton's, the regular Blanton's up there, and they had them top shelf, and they had 2 14s at the time. I don't know what they have now. Last time I was in there about 3 weeks ago, they still had 1 bottle. It's a small little hole in the wall place next to a yoga shop and a karate shop on the other side. Really weird. So I go in there, and the Sam Houston, I look at it, and it was a little bit more expensive, but I think it was like $129 or $139 or something like that. It was $149. So it was about $20 or so over MSRP, right? But $149 for that, I'm like, okay, that's palatable. I can understand that. I can get that, because I haven't seen it anywhere else, not 2-3 times the amount. So I'm like, oh, they have Blanton's in the box. Like, I grabbed the box and I roll it over, and it was $139, and I was like, you only go like 1% or 2% over on one, but you go 100% over on the other. Like, I just don't understand. Like,
Because they know they can get it. Jody, you're
Right,
muted.
there's
Jack, if you're needing a bottle of Blanton's, just we can private chat. and we'll
Jody,
figure out how to
Jody
go.
can hook you up on that one for
I
sure.
have
But
I have more than a few.
Yeah, you do see some wild inconsistency when you go into a liquor store. Like I'll go into
Oh
one
man,
and be
that's
like,
so true.
you know, I'll go in and I'll be like, hey, they actually have a decent price on, you know, XYZ. But I go over and I'll see like they're charging like $20, $30 more than they ought to for this other thing. So it's not like saying, you know, the reputation of the store is necessarily good or bad just because of that. It's just nowhere to find the things that you like at a reasonable price is what I come away with. And I don't rely on any one store for that. Like I will go around because I know where I can get a good price on one thing. I know where I can get a good price on another thing. Like there is not just good and bad stores.
By the way,
And
I do have your bottle.
I don't know why, you know, they're not more tuned into that themselves, the owners. Maybe it'd be a great conversation to have if we get that
With
guy.
you know
back
what,
on,
if we
talk
can
to
get a
the
couple of
thing.
the owners to come on, would be a great conversation.
It'd be like, why is that? Be like, look, I know, because I was saying earlier, we weren't going to talk about how much we were spending on stuff, but Billy, when you were asking how much have you ever spent, like the most I've ever spent, again, not a high roller, $100 on Jefferson's Ocean. That is not a good price point for Jefferson's Ocean. You should get that at like 65, 68, $70, right? Is a reasonable price for Jefferson's Ocean. I paid $100 one time, but I'm sure I could have gone to that same store and get a lot of other things at a very reasonable price anyway. For some reason, they put Jefferson's Ocean at 100, and my sucker ass went out and bought it anyway, right? That just happened.
Well, and you
But
know,
like, why?
I
You know?
and I understand, like, you know, based on the region where you are, the supply and the demand. But I
Sure.
guess if there's a such thing as being overeducated, so, you know, and when you have certain relationships like what we have with each other here, I think our tolerance to pay a higher dollar is a lot less because, like, you know
I
what?
think it's
I can call
also
somebody.
well, I think it also, and I hate to interrupt you real quick, but it's also we have a leverage over them in a way over some of the shady aspects because I have 3 bottles of Rock Hill Farm now. All right. For me to have, whereas in November I had 1. All right. So for me to find those, I have to be able to work the different channels. And this is the channel that has been the most advantageous for me. All right. This group right here. Now, and the reason why is because of where we're faced demographically, or geographically, I should say, not demographically, but where we're at.
Demographic.
have another drink,
Thank you.
Jody.
Sure. For some reason, I think I had a stroke just then. But anyway, I was pulling a Biden. But anyway,
Hey,
Your face is drooping a little bit on the side. Like
but hey, come on, man.
would you shut up, man?
Come on, man. But anyway, no, I think that when you look at where we're located geographically on the map, we have this opportunity or this advantage where certain things,
Oh,
good
man
job,
down.
Rob, where certain things are not available to us at our desired price point, even with our networks in some facilities or in some places. Whereas when we reach out for, like Jack was talking about, a perfect example earlier, I have never paid over $100 for Blanton's, period. Unless I was on vacation or something. Or if it was straight from the barrel, I know my wife paid more than that for that. Or the gold top that was sent to my house. Yeah, she paid more money for those, I'm sure, because they were mailed to the house at the time when we could still ship alcohol straight to the state of Tennessee. So, but like what I was saying there is, you've seen it for 130, I think, is what you said. And if that's the case, that's where you go, hey, my guy Jody, he knows all about this Blanton stuff. Hey, do you got any Blantons? Hey, we can work out as a deal. And then we'll just work out as a deal. And I put it in the mail, you put yours in the mail, and boom. And that's what I prefer, because there's certain things I haven't ever, like this weekend was the first time I ever tried Ode Fitzgerald. And personally, my experience from it was good, but would I ever even desire to pay some of the aftermarket prices for it or the secondary pricing?
And
No, it's not like the WL Weller or the or Stag Senior 2020 or 19 or 17, whatever it might be. It's not like any of those where you have to have the BTAC bottle. I got to have this, or Eagle Rare 17 or whatever. Those you go, all right, so if I can get a good deal, I'm going to do it. And what I mean by good deal is I see what the market's driving. If I can get half of that, I'm okay with that. That's a win. It's still well over retail, but that's a win, And that's kind of the way I look at it. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but that's kind of how I feel about it.
Same sort of thing. It's almost like, do I really want it, and what I'm willing to pay for it? I know I can wait and maybe get it for a better price a month or two down the road. Do I really need it right now? Like, I went into there was another liquor store even further down the road, and somebody posted it in my Colorado group, and it was Old Taylor Rye, and or Colonel Taylor Rye, sorry, and it was $79, I think, or no, it was like $74 or $79 out the door. So I'm like 74. I just literally, as soon as I saw the picture, I didn't even. I just got up and walked out to my vehicle and just left and went and got it. Well, on the shelf next to it was it was the Van Winkle Lot B, the 12-year one, and they had it for $1,100. And I'm
what
like,
the hell?
yeah. And I go to the lady, I'm like, your prices are pretty good with the and they weren't, but I was just saying that. Like, your prices are pretty good with the exception of that Van Winkle there. And she's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, you have the decimal place one too many over. I'm like, if it was $119, I would pop that, but I'm like, I'm ready to buy it right now, but I'm not spending that money for it. She's like, oh, okay, thanks. And I'm like,
Right.
That means she knows she's got a customer out there who will come in and buy that.
Yeah.
Right. And again, that's another factor into it, because, now in less than 2 weeks, I'm gonna have a whole case of Rock Hill Farms. And it's like, okay, and with Jody telling me he's, what it's costing up there, even another local place here, I've seen it, and it was like almost $300. And I was like, wow, and listen, I can tell you guys what I pay for Rock Hill Farms is nowhere near that. Like, nowhere near.
No, it was $89 is what you paid for it, and then and then it was $15 for shipping, and then I gave you a tip.
Yeah, so it was like.
Oh, by the way, I didn't want to not acknowledge that you sent me some of the special barbecue sauce that's unlabeled and not for the public yet. I liked it. It had a great. It almost had a tangy taste. I wanted to make sure I brought that up. I didn't get to reach out to you yet.
Okay.
The wife really liked it. I'm still an OG. I like the OG stuff, and I like the bourbon stuff that we haven't put on market yet, which I don't know why.
Listen, I'm waiting for the new year because there's some more stuff coming. You gotta have a strategy for it. I actually
Just saying.
Prototype stuff to Rob, and I need him to tear it apart and tell me what he thinks.
What kind of stuff you send to him that you didn't send to me?
Honey buffalo sauce.
Oh, I'm glad you sent that to him. I don't like buffalo sauce.
Jody, don't you know that he's picked up all these little tricks from all the whiskey people? This stuff is allocated at this point.
You mean I gotta wait to November?
I got a bottle say for $200.
Got that secondary market on that 305.
Listen, but I won't take it that far, but at the same time, I've learned something. So what people are willing to, because listen, anybody knows, you can walk into any grocery store and buy a bottle of barbecue sauce for less than $10. Of
course.
On the website,
less than $2.
Yeah.
But listen,
but you pay for what you get.
It's $12. So it's not by any means cheap. So, but when you think about it, when you buy MD 2020 and when you buy, say, a Long Branch, it's two different animals.
Let's don't talk about John Mattis 2020. That's some good stuff.
So, it's about learning. And believe it or not, like here in Miami, I am probably selling close to 1,000 bottles a week.
Damn. Good.
Good
The
for you,
wife is
man.
up.
Good for you.
The wife is upset because I've completely taken over the house. I've been searching and searching for a
Real quick, your
location.
wife is upset that you're making a crap ton of money. Has she done the
No,
math on that?
The whole house has been converted into a production.
Yeah, sauce
basically.
factory.
So it looks like a
Yeah.
meth lab. I get it, but
But we need to start calling Billy Heisenberg.
But here's what's crazy though, because
Billy
now
Heisenberg.
I literally
he could just be
drive
the
around-
science teacher.
There you
I
go.
drive around with the
Chemist.
sauce in the car now.
No, I'm just saying he can be titled as the science teacher. I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep interrupting. I apologize.
Yeah, no, you did a good
Yeah.
job at that. Let me try now. So,
But it was funny because I sold the guy at the dealership some sauce, and he goes, I know you're gonna make it now because the minute anybody starts selling something out of their car, they're gonna be successful. And so it's like
Not always true, but
not always true. But
Some of the best dope
like,
dealers I ever knew came out of a car.
Hey, but listen.
I mean, I
you
arrested
ever
him, but I
see-
mean, that's how we roll.
yeah.
But listen, a lot of musicians have sold their music out the trunk of their car. No.
I did
Sure.
that too, and I
Then-
never made it very far in it.
Yeah, but
You got a
'Cause
good,
it was-
you got a good product that you can be proud to stand by. I think that's the difference.
I mean, and I'm not willing to budge on the price.
No, I think
I'll
that's
do-
absolutely
I'll
right.
do sales and stuff like that, but I've quickly learned that if I budge on a price, I'm gonna doom myself. And nobody's ever complained about the price. And if they haven't said anything to me.
I can tell you this. What's funny is we have I have a it's this farmhouse look pantry, like this ginormous pantry with these shelves. David's seen it, and there's this, I think on the third shelf, there's this one section. It's probably, I think it's 2.5 feet, and most of it is barbecue sauce. All right, that has not been touched since I've met Billy. All right. And so we used to order it all from box because they'd want whatever they'd want, the kids and this, that, and whatever. And so we'd buy it in bulk. Well, now they won't only eat the 305, or I'm sorry, use the 305 on their whatever they're having. And so it's like, like we bought the 3 that we bought recently. And I get worried that maybe we need to some. He told me he couldn't ship anything until after the first of the year. So am I, do I have some problems with it getting here? I mean, do I need to buy 100 bottles? What do I need to do? So, but what I do know is those other bottles have been there since before I met you. They're still there. Like I can't even use them for anything. They're like, you're not going to put that on the ribs, are you? Like when you're marinating them. I'm like, well, I was thinking about it, but apparently no. I mean, I thought I controlled this house, but apparently I don't.
At least not that part.
Yeah. Like you guys have never cared about my cooking before, or my wife's cooking, but now if we touch one of the other barbecue sauces, it's somehow wrong. So you've definitely sold my family, and I come from a family of vanillas. Like they're all really vanilla.
You don't gotta say it, Billy.
My stepson's the same way. What I made something, and like I
We all
didn't
know.
even use that much spice in it, and he couldn't even like. To me, I'm like, this is barely like just a pinch of pepper, right? Just regular black pepper is how it tasted to me, and to him, it was like burning his tongue. Like he couldn't like take 2 bites of it. I'm like, what in the world is your problem? I'm like, come on, boy, eat some of this stuff. It's gonna go put hair in your chest. He's 17. He needs it. Yeah, it just.
I will tell you this.
I don't even know what you said, but that was hilarious.
It was
to go-
spicy. He couldn't handle it. Is it?
Yeah, it was too
Is he in
spicy for
the
him.
mayo is spicy crowd? Is it like Paul Ryan?
Yeah, like he can't use Miracle Whip because it's got too much spice in it. But regular mayo, he's good.
But here in the development where I live at, if you went down the road I lived, and if you knocked on any door on either side, I guarantee you at least the next 30 houses have my sauce in their house.
There you go.
At least 30, at the very minimum.
But John
I
has
don't even
all
know
of it. I don't know how you have any.
John was stocking up for this winter.
I mean, he's got a pregnant wife. That explains why he went in like a wrecking ball and just took everything. He's like,
And I just ordered more.
yeah.
He just ordered more. Yeah, it's already on the way.
Yeah.
You told me you couldn't ship anything. Were you just telling me that?
When it's got to get there, it's got to get there.
Well, hey,
Actually,
listen, hold on a second. Let's do this. We're going to stop the recording, and we're going to let Jack send us off here in just 1 second. But guys, it's always fun. I truly appreciate you showing up for the show. I appreciate you guys being a part of it. And this is what I love about this. I mean, we were on this mission of talking about bourbons under $30, and then we just talked about other random nonsense. And that's what makes this fun, and that's what makes this a group during this whole COVID-19 thing that seems like it will never end. But the cool thing is it's making our brand so much bigger, and this is the Whiskey Rebellion. So with that being said, because I waited all the way to that point to do that, Jack, will you sign us off, please?
Yep. All right, everybody. Good night. So here we talked about this a handful of times.
Swear to God, I hate him. I'm sorry, I thought I was muted.
Whiskey Rebellion VIP chat. You want to be part of that because we talk about all this nonsense during the week, before and after the show. We're probably going to bounce on there and BS for a little bit. Whiskey Rebellion VIP chat. Ask Jody to get into it. He'll let you in. If you're cool, I somehow snuck in. That's how it works. We do this every Monday. We post every Monday and Wednesday. Join us next time. Also, don't forget, you've heard it, cafe305bbq.com. He is in-house guy. It's Billy right there. It's the man with the plan. The boy with the sauce, right, from Miami. I don't know how he's got a catchphrase.
Florida boy with sauce.
We're gonna coach you through that one.
That one I'm still work in progress there.
You're way too Caucasian when you said that.
Yeah, sorry. I'll work on that one too. I'm not drunk enough. But the most important thing is, do not drink and drive. Call yourself an Uber. That $15 Uber drive can save somebody's life and also save you 10 grand and a whole bunch of just stuff in the back of your head, a whole bunch of morality issues. So please don't drink and drive. Drink responsibly. Call yourself an Uber. Call yourself a friend. I'm sure there are better alternatives than drinking and driving. Have a good night.
Yep.
Oh, wait a bit. There's 2 YouTube channels. You went so far. There's the Whiskey Rebellion YouTube channel, and there's also Cafe 305, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother.
There you
All right.
go.
Cheers to you guys. We're going to end the live feed.
Guys.
Oh, heck, I mean, you said be good to yourself, and we all have to drink.